Hello everybody and welcome to another One Stop Wrestling podcast. I'm Alex and the Royal Rumble is in the history books now, so I'm going to be recapping the night's events and giving you our One Stop Wrestling star ratings for the event. So, we'll get straight into it and we'll go in chronological order, starting with the Women's Royal Rumble. So, overall, this was a great match really. It was a very good start with a couple of really cool surprises. Naomi made her expected return, but it was a great moment. Huge reaction for her. She came in entrant number 2. She did really well. She lasted over an hour, I think. Was eliminated towards the end, but she had a great showing and was super over when she came out. And then, in an absolute shocker, Jordynne Grace entered entrant number 5, the TNA Knockouts champion, which was an absolute shocker, really. I wasn't expecting that at all. Great to see Grace being spotlighted last night. I don't know if this is going to open some kind of other forbidden door between WWE and TNA. But either way, it was great to see Grace. She had a good showing. She lasted about 30 minutes or so. She showcased her amazing power and physical strength. And her elimination was really cool as well. Bianca Belair hit a KOD on the apron, which looked pretty sick. So yeah, amazing moment to see Jordynne Grace. So yeah, it was a hot start to the Rumble. And in the middle, it did kind of slow down a bit. The crowd were a bit quiet, really, in the middle portion of the match. Not a lot was happening. They botched a few spots, but then towards the end, it really picked up and became a brilliant match, really. Nia Jax came out around entrant 19, I think it was, and she was the monster in the match. She started destroying people, quick eliminations. Nia looked dominant. There was a great spot where Chelsea Green was just getting squished by Nia Jax and her tag team partner Piper Niven, which was really cool. It was a very, very funny visual to watch Chelsea just get absolutely destroyed. R-Truth also managed to get himself into the match thinking it was the men's Royal Rumble match, because of course he did. He was instantly taken out by Jax. And then the final few sequences were amazing, really. The crowd was super behind Bayley. Bayley came out entrant number 3 and lasted over an hour. I think it was an hour and 3 minutes, so she broke the record for the longest time spent in the match. Jade Cargill made her WWE debut, entrant number 28. She got a massive pop. So clearly the crowd knew who she was and were very expectant to see her. And Jade put on a great showing, really. She came face to face with Jax. She picked her up on her shoulders, and then she eventually dumped her out with almost like a power slam position. And it was such a cool moment for Jade to showcase her strength and power. She had a great stare down with Bianca Belair, and then it got into the final few minutes and there were a lot of quick fire eliminations. Becky, Naomi got dumped quickly. Liv Morgan was entrant number 30, another cool comeback. Nice to see Liv back. She looked really good as well. And in the end, Bayley, Jade and Liv were the final 3, and quick fire elimination of Jade, and then Liv went straight after, and Bayley is your women's Royal Rumble winner, and she'll be going to WrestleMania probably to face Io Sky, I would imagine, for the WWE Women's Championship. Really, really strong match. Like I said, the middle was a bit slow, but the end sequence was so good, and the crowd were really into it at the end, and really popular winner. Bayley was super over, and yeah, really good match. I would probably give it about, I'd say 4 stars for that one. Next up, was the undisputed championship match between Roman Reigns, LA Knight, Randy Orton and AJ Styles. Again, this was a very solid match. Nothing spectacular, really. All four guys got to showcase their stuff. Knight looked really good. He looked like he belonged among these four, among the other three competitors. He's not a spotlight that Knight has had a lot, really, in his career, and he just looked at home. Put on a really good performance. Orton hit a series of great RKOs on all three competitors. Looked like he had the match won, and then typically we got the bloodline interference from Solo, who stopped the referee's count for Randy, who had a visual pin on Roman Reigns. Solo took out Randy Orton and LA Knight, tried to take out AJ Styles, and then ended up putting himself through the barricade. After that, there was about 5 to 10 minutes of quite solid action, really. And Roman ended up hitting a spear on AJ, and, wow, I mean, it was a clean pin. Wasn't a clean victory because of Solo's interference, but he pinned AJ clean with a spear. Solid match. Nothing really spectacular happened. Nothing really to write home about, but it was a good match, and expected winner, really. Roman was the obvious choice. I don't think he was ever going to drop the title. I'll give that one 3.5 stars, I think. On to the US title match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. This match was really good. Really good. Logan Paul is an absolute natural in there. He can seemingly work with any type of opponent. Owens and Paul had really good chemistry. They worked really hard. Paul showed a lot of good psychology, working on Kevin Owens' arm, his injured hand, throughout the match. The action never really slowed down. The crowd were quite into it. I expected them to be a little bit quiet, having witnessed the title match and the Women's Rumble, but the two guys did a great job of keeping them up. And the ending was dodgy. A lot of shenanigans. Probably a really flat ending for the live crowd, but in hindsight, looking back on it, the ending does make a lot of sense. Kind of protects Owens and makes you want to see him maybe get his hands on Logan Paul again. So Paul had one of his guys at ringside who came out over the barricade, distracted the ref. That allowed Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to come down. Theory handed Paul the brass knucks. Owens took the knucks off Paul, hit Paul in the head, got the cover. The ref counted to 2 and noticed the knucks on Owens' hand and called for the DQ. So yeah, quite a flat finish for the live crowd, but it does make sense. And Owens did get his heat back by powerbombing Paul through the announce table. I would give that one 3 3/4 stars. Somewhere in between the title match and the Women's Royal Rumble. So yeah, really good match. And the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble match. Now, I have to say, this match was quite disappointing, really. It was just quite dull. Not a lot happened, really. We didn't hardly got any surprise entrants. No legends coming back, nothing like that. Andrade came out entrant number 4. That was the first surprise. Cool comeback, to be fair. The crowd did pop for him. Obviously, we knew his contract with AEW expired, but it was nice to see Andrade out there. The Uso brothers started the match, entrants 1 and 2, so that was pretty cool. Apart from that, I mean, nothing really happened. It was just quite flat. It picked up a little bit when we got to the final sort of 10 entrants. Bron Breakker came in at number 20 and looked really, really good. Great showing for Bron Breakker. He got 3 or 4 eliminations. Hit a spear on a load of guys, including a really, really wicked spear on Ivar of the Viking Raiders. So yeah, great showing for Breakker. He showed his explosivity and just what he can do out there, and the crowd again reacted. I don't know when they're going to bring Breakker up to the main roster, but he certainly showed he's ready. It was a great showing for Bron Breakker. Pat McAfee ended up being an entrant off commentary. This was a waste, really. I mean, you can see what they were trying to do. McAfee got onto the apron, took one look at Omos and thought, nope, I'm not having any of that. Jumped in, fired up, thinking, yeah, I can do this. Jumped straight back out and just eliminated himself. Complete waste, really. We had a great comedy spot again involving R-Truth. That man is the gift that keeps on giving. So JD McDonough was an entrant. Bron Breakker speared him outside, and then R-Truth came out as the next entrant. Threw JD in the ring, and JD got immediately eliminated. And then R-Truth jumps on the apron and calls for the tag of Dominic Mysterio, thinking, of course, that this was a tag team match. Absolutely brilliant from R-Truth. And then CM Punk came out, entry number 27, probably the biggest pop of the night, I would say. But there were just no shock entries at all, apart from Andrade. And then Sami Zayn came back from his injury, entrant number 30. But again, it just felt a bit flat. Nothing really happened. The final four were Cody, Punk, Drew McIntyre and Gunther, as expected, really. It was a cool final four sequence, to be fair. The guys did well. Cody and Punk's final two lasted about 10 minutes or so, and it was good. It was, the crowd was sort of split down the middle. They were probably leaning towards Cody a little bit, I'd have to say. They came alive a little bit when it was Punk and Cody, but yeah, I mean, it was a shock result. I was expecting CM Punk to win, and he didn't. Cody Rhodes won. And I'm really happy about it. I think it's the right winner. And, he points to Roman Reigns, who's sat in the stands, and I think he's going to finish the story and win the championship. And it makes sense. And I think Cody is the ultimate babyface going forward, and he's the right guy to finish Roman Reigns' amazing championship run. It was a shocker. I was, like I said, I was expecting Punk to win. The crowd popped big for Cody as well. But yeah, overall the match was just wasn't great. Nothing really happened. Quite disappointing, really. So I would give that one 2 stars, unfortunately. So yeah, overall, I mean, considering the great run of pay-per-views WWE have had over the past year, this was probably on the lower end. Lots of hype for it, but it didn't quite deliver. Great Women's Royal Rumble. Solid matches in between, and the Men's Royal Rumble just felt flat. But there you have it. That was the Royal Rumble. Did you guys enjoy the show? Leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to One Stop Wrestling on YouTube. And we'll see you next time for another One Stop Wrestling podcast.